హలో ఎవ్రీవన్, నేను మీ బాలకృష్ణ. వెల్కమ్ టు మై యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ బాలాజన్ ఏఐ తెలుగు ఫేస్బుక్ ఛానల్స్. టుడే ఐ am going to discuss about LLM Gateway. What is the importance of LLM Gateway? Why we need to use LLM Gateway? I will explain clearly in detail about LLM Gateway in this session. If you like this content in this video, please like, comment, share, and follow my YouTube channel as well as Facebook channels. This is the my WhatsApp number. Anyone want to learn data science, machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, generative AI, agentic AI, Salesforce, ServiceNow, cybersecurity tools, or otherwise anyone want to may change or switch to another domain to the AI domain, please make a put a message in this WhatsApp or where did you see in YouTube or Facebook. Thank you. Stay tuned to my channel. LLM Gateway. A LLM Gateway is a middleware layer that it sits between your application and multiple large language models providers, acting as a single entry point to manage routing, logging, security, failovers and cost tracking. ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే సపోజ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ యువర్ LLM application. In this LLM application, now it is the LLM application means it is the LLM. It is in which one application? This application here is the gateway is there. Gateway. What is the importance of gateway? The application is always application in the sense, suppose WhatsApp or Facebook or Insta, whatever the application did you use, it is used not only one single user. The application may use multiple users or 100 or 1000 or lakh of users like ChatGPT, Gemini, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. That time anyone can ask questions, anyone send message, anyone can generate images. That time we need to send information to LLM. Before sending LLM, now we need to cross the gateway. The gateway is sit in between LLM to your app. That is the meaning of LLM gateway. Now here LLMs are so many LLMs are there: Chat GPT, Gemini, Grok, Claude, Hugging Face, open source model, Hugging Face models are language foundational models, large foundational models, like that only. Suppose what it do, providers acting as a single entry point to manage routing. Suppose if you are asking a question, suppose that question is only any one of the LLM like ChatGPT kellala, Gemini, the message switch to ChatGPT, or the information is switched to Gemini API or switch to Grok. Like that only manage routing. How to route your query or question to different LLMs, different provider LLMs, large language model, or logging which LLM did you log based on the user query. Like that only we need to provide logging also. And then security, suppose while you are logging to the that application or that server, we need to provide some security, that is called authentication or authorization, RBAC, like that only. Failure, suppose any one of the connection is failed, how to again reconnect this error, rectify this error, and then how to reconnect this again, get back to our services. That is called failover. And cost tracking, suppose each and every model having some cost specification is there, and then pro models also, flash models also there. Suppose whenever you want to use open source models as well as paid source models, that time you need to suppose if we are using the paid source models, that time you need to pay money to the that providers. Like that only cost tracking also is helpful by using LLM gateway. Now in simple terms, instead of your app directly calling OpenAI, ChatGPT, Anthropic, Claude, or other providers. All requests go through the gateway. This all the requests. What are the requests did you send to LLM? That all requests passed to via gateway only, which standardize. But here suppose there is no gateway. If you want to ask any query, if you, this is app, simply directly connect with this LLM and then get back to the response to your app, like that only. Here there is no LLM gateway, we need directly call to the LLMs. That time we are facing so many issues. That issues may reduce by using LLM. It will handle or it will control the LLM gateway. I hope all of it clear. Now, which standardize and controls how those calls are made. How, based on that LLM gateway, how the calls are will made, for getting the proper information as per your request. This is the gateway. Now what are the popular LLM gateways are available in the market? Suppose open router. This open router having consists 350 or 100 models are there. Open source models also there, paid source models also there. Suppose whenever you want to use only one API key, it is helpful to connect your application with multiple large language models. Only one unified API is enough. And then another one is in Light LLM. This is also another gateway to connect your app with multiple LLMs via Light LLM. And then Portkey. Portkey is also another services. And then Kong AI gateway. And then Helicon is also another popular LM gateway is there to connect your app with a different LLM models at a time. This is the information, this is the small information, this is the diagram, this is the block diagram of LLM gateway. This is the AI gateway or LLM gateway. LLM gateway or AI gateway. Now suppose these are the services consuming LLMs. LLMs means large language models. LF means language foundational models. Now here is the APIs. These are the APIs. These are the APIs means application. I will programming interface. Now, this is the gateway. Whenever you want to ask, suppose your application is connect via API only. Always. This is the Hugging Face. These Hugging Face models consist with Llama, Falcon, other models are so many models are there in the Hugging Face repository. This is the models repository. It is very important framework as well as repository will help to you need to use in your projects. These models, open source models along with paid source models also. Suppose these are the paid source models: OpenAI, GPT, DALL-E, Google, Bard, Gemini, AWS Bedrock, Mistral, some another models also, Azure, uh, some another models. Suppose now what is the API gate advantages is unifies LLM or LLF's API calls. Only one API call is required to manage all LLMs or everything security, authentication, log failures, and then each and everything we need to monitor based on the LLM gateway. Now request tracing. Now suppose once you are asking a question or you are send the query or send the request to get the information via LLM, it is always tracking where the query, where the request is there. That is in always tracking your end-to-end request tracing. And then catching. What is the meaning of catching? The catching, suppose whenever you are asking, whenever you send the request to call the LLM, it is not a good practices. We suppose already asked, previously asked query as well as conversation and then semantic change, these all the queries and then responses embeddings everywhere, everyone is will store in the cache. Suppose whenever you want to ask same related or same similar question, you may ask or you may hit request for this getting the information via LLM, it will never all directly via LLM, where the information will store the similar type of information is from the catch, it will capture and then give the response to the end user. This is the catching. Now governance. Governance is always monitoring how the request, where the request, how the request based on the user authentication as well as API keys, which is fair use. Everything is governance, and this is the governance layer is there, and then observability. Observability means we always observe as well as monitoring the guardrails as well as hallucinations, everything. And then constant usage. Constant usage, it is also very helpful. How many requests we need to send, what type, how much type of, how much cost will generate based on the user queries, how many times will hit the request to the direct LLM calls, how many tokens will generate. Based on that, we need to calculate the cost based on the usage of LLM calls. This is the direct, this is the architecture of the API or LLM gateways. LLM gateway. Now I am, this is the architecture. I will explain to you. AI models developed are fine-tuned in-house. Now coming to the what type of, what an LLM gateway does, what it does. Centralized routing. Now centralized routing in the sense routes requests to different model providers. Different models mean Chat GPT, Gemini. These models has developed by different providers like OpenAI as well as Google as well as Anthropic Claude like GPT-4, Claude, Llama Meta, without changing application code. Suppose there is no routing capability or centralized routing capability, whenever you want to call any one of the API, the developer may mm, write a code for connecting this LLM. It is a code complexity as well as time complexity is there when we have missed the centralized routing between app and LLM calls. Now coming to the unified API. Unified API means provides one interface for all model calls, simplifying integration. We need to integrate with the different models based on the single UPI, unified API. It is very helpful to connect directly different models in a single request. Now logging and observability. It is also very important. Tracks, usage, cost, and performance matrices across providers. The observability is nothing but latency, throughput, accuracy, hallucinations, guardrails, everything is observable. Suppose anything happens inside the model or anywhere in our architecture, everything we need to log in. And then retrace and fallbacks. It is very important concept. Retrace. Whenever any one of the model not give the performance well, it is it is again retrace, again it will retrace, otherwise fallback means suppose any one of the model will never will not give the good response, it will automatic or redirect to the another model. This is the best, this is the best way to get the proper response as well as accuracy response from the different models via LLM gateway. Now automatically retrace failed request. Suppose whenever the request is failed, it is automatically retraced. You need to connect and then get back to the response. Now switch to backup models where the failure happens. Then afterwards only all successful steps are happen successfully. Suppose where the model fails to get the response, then onwards only the fallback mechanism will happens, and then already previous successful steps stored in somewhere. Now after that where the model has failed to retrieve the information, then afterwards the fallback mechanism is continuously retrace the request and then set or fix the error, and then get back to the move from after that onwards it will move and then forward and then get back to the what the request he or may she is asking to get the response from the LLMs. And then security and governance. enforces policies. Now we need to create or made policies like masking sensitive data. It is also very very important. Masking with sensitive data means PII, personal identity information, IPA, GDPR. These are the regulatory bodies is also there. Based on these regulatory bodies will helpful to manage the models will expose say mask sensitive data or not. Suppose whenever the models expose sensitive data, we need masking. How to masking the sensitive data? I will explain clearly in detail. Like pseudonymization, anonymization, are these are the services are helpful to controlling the exposing our personal information to the public domains and applying quotas and then auditing requests. And next one, cost control helps prevent unexpected billings usages by monitoring usage across providers. Now authentication and authorization manage access control to LLM services, making sure that only authorized users or applications can make requests. Next, caching stores response to common queries to reduce API costs and improve response times. Usage tracking analytics. I have already explained. Monitors each and every request is monitored and reports to LLM usage, cost, performance matrices. Custom pre and post processing. Before before giving to the input as well as context to the LLM, we need to pre-processing as well as post-processing. After that also we need to processing the output. Now how to pre-processing and then post-processing, it is also very very cost effective uh, to from the LLMs. Enables the addition of custom logic before sending requests to the LLMs and after receiving responses also. Load balance, it is also very very important. Distributes incoming request across multiple instances or providers to optimize performance and resource utilization. Now monitoring and logging. Providers provides detailed logs, request tracing, debugging tools to help developers identify and resolve issues in LLM interactions. In previously, this is the architecture is helpful to via LLM gateway. Everything unifies LLMs, request tracing, caching, and then governance, observability, cost and tracing to connect our API to with the different LLM models via LLM gateway. These are the facilities. Suppose without LLM gateway, what it happens each and every API request. And suppose which model we need to connect. We need to creating the we need to develop the code security provide each and every model we need to logging each and every model we need to request tracing our own only based on the code complexity will more without LLM gateway or LF gateway. Because of that reason, this is the code complexity and time complexity. Suppose any one of them where the model will fails, how we need to rectify this, everything is very very difficult to handle. Because of that reason, LLM gateway is the best remediation rather than the without LLM gateway. Now, why it's need scattering integrations? Suppose previously these are the scattered integration, different integrations. Different. Suppose if you want to connect with OpenAI model, we need to separate integration. Google different integration. Suppose this is the API call is also different. Suppose the developer requests also is different. Now everything is their own developers has a different. Suppose whenever you want, we don't know how they are developed. Because of that reason we are not getting the proper response. We are creating the code, we are developing the code. It is very very tedious and then hectic process. We need to integrate each and every model and separately. Because of that reason we are suffering a lot. And this is scattering hard integrations, hard harder to maintain, inconsistent retry logic. Inconsistent retry logic. There is no, it is very, very unrealistic, unreliable performance, unclear billing attribution, difficult cost management. Why? Because if we are using different models, suppose how we need to calculating which model gives to the which model we need to get the information that time, how which model will give the response. Based on that we need to calculating the model cost, LLM cost. It is also very very tedious or hectic process. And then provider lock-in also. Switching models requires rewriting code. Suppose if you want to switch one model to another model, we need to require particular code. Code snippet is also required. This is the difficulties there, why we are not using LLM gateway. These all the limitations. Without LLM gateway, we need to improvise. We need to proper cost utilization, log, security, governance, each and everything. It is helpful whenever we want to connect with our API, LLM, generative APIs or agentic APIs to the different models using through LLM gateway. Now these are the difference. Now I will explain to you. This is the LLM or AI gateway architecture. Suppose this is user. User interface means this is in front of us. Suppose UI plus SDK. If we are asking, suppose if you are asking a query, we need to authenticate you are the valid user or not. Suppose any one of the unauthorized users also asking the questions. Suppose based on prompt injection or direct injection or indirect context injection. That time context, suppose if you are passing the any one of the sources files, that time the hackers are malicious. There are some sent of information inside the documents as well as files. That time our LLM model will confuse. It will give to the response to the that person's unauthorized persons only. That time we need to provide proper authentication mechanism based on RBAC also. Then afterwards each and everything we need to audit the request. And then secrets management means what are the secret API keys, passwords, anything we need to store in the vaults as well as particular secret management. Then afterwards we need to service based on the SDK. REST based means API calls. We need to caching is also provided proxy servers. Suppose which models, which servers we need to capture the information. And then data protection. In the data protection we need to which model we need to integrate based on the user query, OpenAI, ChatGPT or Google, AWS Bedrock, Anthropic. It is the data protection. In the data protection we need to use some of the strategies. We need to protect that is called HIPAA as well as a PAI. And then observability, we need to observe each and everything, logs as well as audit as well as security. We need to each and everything. This is the API gateway. I will explain clearly in detail in Telugu also. If you want to, if you like this video, please make a comment and then subscribe and then follow. Thank you. Signing off, Balakrishna.